In this video, I'm gonna show you how I would introduce scissors to my toddlers and preschoolers. And this lesson could save a life, y'all. Maybe it's not that dramatic, but I have had a kid chop off the tip of his finger under my care before I learned how to instruct children to use scissors properly. The things we don't know, we need to say. Just a reminder, when we are teaching themes to our toddlers and preschoolers, sometimes we're teaching the kids about the theme. Sometimes we're actually teaching a skill using the theme. So today's lesson, we're actually teaching the skill. The most important thing the kids can get out of this is how to properly use their scissors. And we just happen to be making the sticks for our Three Little Pigs stick house. If you're following along on my lessons, this is an All About Me's week 4. My house is the week's topic. This week we're going to be reading the Three Little Pigs with the goal by Friday do a little play or skit where they get to pick the different pigs they're going to act out, and then we're all going to act out the story at the same time. Once I was taught about having multiple kids playing one part all at the same time, it really did change the way that I saw putting on plays with my toddlers and preschoolers, because nobody is left out. Back to it. We will have just finished a picture walk of the Three Little Pigs. Then the way that I have it in the curriculum is if you have a co-teacher, y'all are going to split into groups. Remember, divide and conquer as much as you can. Your co-teacher will be doing the ripping paper lesson for the straw house, and you'll be doing the scissor introductory lesson with the other half of the kids. Y'all would switch and you would do it with the other kids that she was just working with. She would be down at the carpet doing the ripping. I would be at the table with the scissors. I just find it safer that way. Then I would show them the pair of scissors. I would explain that this part of the scissors is very, very sharp. At this point in my class, the kids have not been using, they do not have access to scissors. If they have used them before, it is with somebody else outside of my classroom. But I am going to start allowing them to have access to scissors, so I want to make sure they know what they're doing. So when I show them the scissors, I explain to them, this is sharp like a knife. Ouch, it hurts. Touch the inside, it hurts and can cut you. Even with my 2-year-old grandbaby, when I explain to her things are sharp or ouch, they hurt, if I'm talking about fire or I'm talking about nails or tacks or knives or whatever we're talking about, she is beginning to understand. She doesn't even have to go near the thing before she'll start saying, ouch, ow, ow. And I'm like, you didn't even touch it. And understand the concept of this equals pain. And I explain to them, these are scissors. Say scissors. Scissors cut. Can you make fake scissors with your hands? Like when we do the letter C and we do the k, k, k sound for cut. K, k, k. We're cutting. Scissors could hurt people, but scissors also help us and make our job easier. So they're a tool. You say tool? They're a tool that we use to do things here at school, and you probably have scissors at your house to help you do jobs at home. You should be sitting down when you use scissors. Miss Scarlett does not like to see people walking around with scissors. But if for whatever reason you do walk with scissors, you hold the handle and you walk with it like this. We don't ever walk with our scissors like this, because then it could poke someone and hurt them. So we hold them down and we hold the handle. And it's best if you hold them down at your side so they're not up here so that they can't hurt anybody. The next thing that is important, when you use scissors, you open and close them. Well, here you open and close, open, close. You need to open the scissors to be able to put the paper in, and then you have to close the scissors so that it begins to cut it into pieces. Now in a second, you're gonna get your own brown piece of paper, but I wanna show you what I need you to do. We are making the stick house for our Three Little Pigs play on Friday, and we're gonna use this brown paper to do it. So what Miss Scarlett's doing is I'm drawing this line. I'm gonna draw lines going across the paper, and then it's gonna be your your job to try to stay on the lines to cut it out. You can already have these drawn, and I would just leave one blank paper so that you could show them with the sample that you made these lines and now it's their job to cut on the lines. And if you are teaching 2-year-olds, I would make your lines a little bit thicker and get like 2 sections of these versus the older the kids, the thinner the lines. Now here's another very important part when we're teaching scissors that I have had to explain to my class because this is how the kid cut off the tip of his finger before. Explain to them, you need to make sure that you're holding the paper on one side and you're cutting on the other side. You're going to do your best to open and close on the line. You're going to keep opening, move your scissors down and close. Open, move your scissors down and close. Open, close. And I will even open, close with some of the kids, or even when I go hand over hand with them when I'm showing them. And look what we get out of it. We have our stick for the stick house. Now, as you keep cutting, I want to show you something that could be dangerous, so pay attention. I'll even tell them a story about the kid who cut the tip of his finger off and had to go to the nurse because it was bleeding just for effects. Now, when you're cutting, you got to make sure that you're not cutting by your finger. But look what happens. I'm going to cut. I'm going to cut right here. And it looks safe, right? Because it's not. So let me just cut these out so we can get to that point. Make sure that your scissors are not close to your fingers so you don't cut them. But look what happens. If I come right here, it looks like it's safe. It looks like it's away from my finger. But look what's happening on the back side. If I kept cutting, it would cut my fingers. So I have to make sure that I keep my hand away from the scissors. So in the front, it's away from my fingers, and on the back, it's away from my fingers. That way, my fingers are safe and sound. I'm going to share with you one last rule when we're using scissors, okay? Because I'm fixing to give you this paper and you're going to cut the lines to help us make our house. But one other thing that you need to know is that scissors in our class, they only cut paper or Play-Doh. We do not cut anything on our body. We don't want our clothes to get cut. We don't want to use our scissors to hurt any of our friends or cut any of their hair. We're only gonna cut paper and Play-Doh. Everybody say paper. Everybody say Play-Doh. Paper, Play-Doh. That's the only things that we're gonna cut in our class. That is how I introduce the scissors to my toddlers and preschoolers, and how we make our sticks for our stick house for the 3 little pigs. If you like lessons like these, go ahead and comment sub, because I have a 7-day trial where you can get into the Preschool Experience site. You can download yourself a lesson plan for yourself and some of the other resources that I have in there for you. Try it out in your classroom, see if you like it. And if you do, welcome to the club. If you don't, then you can cancel at any time. Bye, guys.